the day Africa will begin to move in the right direction. The day the African politician realizes that the occupation of public space and public office is an honor and a privilege, that is the day Africa begins to move in the right direction. The day the African politician recognizes that the occupation of office is not one for the privatization of public wealth, that is the day Africa will begin to move in the right direction. The day the African politician recognizes that they do not have the monopoly of wisdom, that is the day that Africa will begin to move in the right direction. The day the African politician realizes that longevity in office is not the solution to African problem, that is the day Africa begins to realize their potential. The day that the African politician begins to remember that the electoral vote is a charge for them to deliver on health, on agriculture and education, that is the day Africa will begin to know her place in the world. The day the African politician is liberated from the chains of greed, that is the day that Africa will realize her potential. The day the African politician realizes that the occupation of political office and political space is one of servant leadership, that is the day Africa will begin to move in the right direction. The day the African politician realizes that the occupation of public space and public office is an honor and a privilege, that is the day Africa begins to move in the right direction. The day the African politician recognizes that the occupation of office is not one for the privatization of public wealth, that is the day Africa will begin to move in the right direction. The day the African politician recognizes that they do not have the monopoly of wisdom, that is the day that Africa will begin to move in the right direction. The day the African politician realizes that longevity in office is not the solution to African problem, that is the day Africa begins to realize their potential. The day that the African politician begins to remember that the electoral vote is a charge for them to deliver on health, on agriculture and education, that is the day Africa will begin to know her place in the world. The day the African politician is liberated from the chains of greed, that is the day that Africa will realize her potential.
Yes, indeed, that day is coming soon. Ladies and gentlemen, Memo Bibia Akwaba, Emba, Dr. NTV. So today is the first day I will share me any more. Subscribe and also click on the notification button so that anytime we are made a content BTCC Bebano also over Besum. I've told you, sir, politics is something I see now we must get involved. Because politics is about on my home asem and yedi. And we all being Ghanaians there, at least you say we opinion out nefi na say ye kind and carefua, ye kind will come be the channel says because you feel now your opinion one for one two more. Let's say ya ye boudin bonnie. So that is the reason why Mr. Anopa na ejaminyam rena minya daja. Kakrebiano a year with a year the busy schedule no yet me ba. Na me be engage metie for any mashe for. Of course, omo mo hwe me omudi machin so. Dodo one wa nyansa e wo mutrim. Quickly, may acknowledge the presence of a year Zigma and everyone or a year Facebooker wo mo hwe me any a year YouTube or Facebook now subscribe me YouTube no a Dr. Ren TV bomodiana subscribe na yentimi bomodiana and grow together. Now, ladies and gentlemen, and Komobi Akoso. Now, I think say me bomodiana me why I need to Ghana phone NSA. For some few a year months near, I say ye fee and near maybe because ora no amount for say AGU, amount for say ora no attention. This is what a year the micro a year minority eka. Just say minority for they say ora no dear attention This is what they are saying, because almost so much say, ora, Mr. Daniel Domelevu, Edina no aka sembi, na asem na waka nti no, omususu say the waka no, omuka kire Ghana for say, ora no, full of garbage into hwi enim. Yenkuti what ora Daniel Domelevu, kan ya enti ama MPP for ka sa asem we a wo de na no sibone. Enti yentie no na yeba menso memfa ensem a mepese me de kaso no menso me de ma Ghana fo nyina, because misinformation by Joy FM media, misinformation no adosu yentie
ni bebre hu ni bebre no
ebu wa John Daniel Dumelevu yentie no.
But it took some time. I don't know up to now whether it has fully been paid. So winning the case is one thing, but recovering it is a different ball game. So I completely agree with the Deputy Attorney General that yes, as for us, we just collected data and summed it up. We didn't do any investigation. A preliminary investigation even may show that some of the complaints were just noise. There's nothing in it. But we collected the data as it is. So including the garbage. So if he has taken time to look at it and maybe based upon some preliminary investigation and think it's on the high side, I do not disagree with him.
Did you just use the word including garbage?
Yes, because at times people, in fact, nobody came to us that we turn away and say, yes, we will not take your information. So we collected all the information. Remember, we're not investigating. So when you come, we are not going to say that Mr. Mensah substantiate what you are saying. So you just come and say that I know Mr. Maliba is involved in this, that. The amount is this. We see the document you have and we capture it. Some even came in the form of emails. Some even came in the form of emails. What about if the person is just making it up? Being an experienced auditor, I know that you can even submit documents. And later on, when we test the documents may not have any substance or they may not be authentic.
Yes.
Enti utie asemia ora John Dumelevu, Daniel Dumelevu kan ya. The watching nyina na say told me bia oral team no. Omo collecte edu mre bi no a ye di oral ne bae no ma menka ne ye. Oral no collecte information. Enti oral ne yo a center of information gathering. And it's saying aban fufraba na bae no omo susu say dream kata hye ne pro ye bi course the previous government team. Enti enam sa nti omo TBB e friend no Operation Recover All Loot. Just say yensusu ye ne kire yen say aban dada no wo twem no wo Ghana krono. Eni de wo Ghana krono dia. Eni yembie e friend is saying office bia obi bia wo hunu bibi 8 years course under the NPP eni Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo eni ni team no onko report. Nti obviously Ghanaians will go and report. Mamema wa example bi Emra Akufo bae wo beye bia na eja wo susu se wo de begina so na ebia Jerry John Rawlings waye boni bi etia o my Ghana and nti you ofre bibi reconciliation. It will be bia na wo susu se na Rawlings apenso no wo ye ni bibi boni no under the reconciliation no the 19 years of Jerry John Rawlings PNDC and NDC governance no onfa na asem betuja enkofo bebre no na do masem across the nation do masem kotuja edema the national reconciliation a friend is saying ekuno ekowie echire no there are some people at national reconciliation team no invite wo because no mususu say ensem wo kafa Jerry John Rawlings no ensem no mu edu na afen so wo nyina so. So clearly Orano acquire a similar, but the Orano is about a corruption activity happening under the NPP. Indeed, what is the problem? What is the hula baloo? Say Obia wano ye Auditor General. Once upon a time, Ghana's Auditor General no can say information no are collecting. You can data. Data simply means information. You can knowledge. Knowledge simply means information. Inti si a quality data nya aboa kwase bi a wote baabi data information mi hunu bibi mi ti bibi mi wo hu nyina so inti orafo me de bremo mo hwehwe mu se no kra mo mmomodin na mo ntua na mo na mo nje oman Ghana yesi kamfa maye. This is what ora etie eniti afam panyimfo akukuda a whole former COP Kofi Boachim na no moka ho now the foreign affairs minister okujeto ablakwa moka ho lawyer a friend is Martin Pebu no ka ho Mr. Daniel Domlevu oka ho NAE a friend is Yoko executive director Raymond Acha no ka ho. So ka ora no obviously information nkofo bebre di beba obu okra wo time keke obu okra wo hunu se bia Akufo Addo time ebia friend is and wife ebeto wache bi wo baabi na ebia obai no car na wo twi no susu se bia car no 8 years ago no onim so car sa na ebia ene wo twi sa car nto be suspect bibi ono nso hu ye de ohunu ye na account no wo de beba. And it's up to a year one mo a omosunya mera no mo temera ase eso mo ye de ehwe no mo sone so enti ne ye koma mo nyina no so mo sone so no mo se ne nyina ye papa ne nyina no de me matane general wo mo sone so no mo se ne nyina no so no enya papa de enya papa ne de ye papa no aso ne general na begina so asone so enti o mo kada information nyina no na eso mo de nyina koma atane general na attorney general ni team so eye nhwehwemu esone so de yemu de wo mu de nimu no de hwa ne nyina so no yentimi nya hwe mfiri me be waste of time no yentontwene no na friend garbage no eno so nche se ora na egu nchi akese nkoma girlfriend enimo na OA eno nche se de ora na de egu. It is a ufa Joy FM makachira mo said the misinformation a friend is saying news a friend is an umbrella of Ghana. Womo diene say womo no womo hwe baby a sebi omo yefu bekono and then they report. Emra aban we sesaye me be ye video on Joy FM say aban we asesano abrantie bi a ye friend Elton John Brobe 8 years of Akufo Addo governance no ka aban no ho mo ehunu no Joy FM so we reporting news. Obeti Elton John Brobe so wo kasa na e bia president etu kwan ene ye friend ebusa ne say president kwa akwantum no de na esi no report ewo ho abrantie na Akufo Addo ne MPP mu ko opposition ya abrantie wa bet na fie nti ese okọ back to the Joy FM na oye adwuma and abrantie nso ko Joy FM no he is a mover ewo Joy FM into o move wo kire. This is where we want the media to go. Bear in mind, they say, MPP no kahubi. Ye tiane cash no, a finance no. Into a back there, he is obviously going to make sure, say, one more a friend is saying, Joy FM one, woman by your new maybe a sebio, a best suit the agenda of the MPP political party. It is a woman who said Joy FM 4 years, Who said Joy FM 4 year the omu ye no mokaso garbage na hwi ni ora ni mu a makachiro Elton John Brobe wo ho ono ne be determine se monka ne se muncho ne se munye ne se na Ghana fo ni hunu ne se sa na ye kan se MPP fo ba mbọ kro no ni bia no o me wi Ghana bọ kro no enye no kre na nso abusia makachiro se ewiase Minu no nkranfo ye ka asem se ka agbabosane e bohu gba ohe chesa asem no ya ka kire wa unso ka kire wo entwempo mo bi mekire mu nkire you have a mind of your own into fadwene nsem no ho into hwehwa de ewe na me bisa wo asem bi afa ho se wankasa no kra no a wo ye Ghana ni no wadwen kire kra eye wo sen according to oral no ensem o motasetase bebrebe ni nyina no omde koma attorney general the moon and Attorney General ahweti mu ehunu ne say a friend is saying cases ni bi wo wa enyina so wom into a city concluded investigations ene de one or say drip procurement a kwan for so you got machines CM from be Ghana for kwan across our district no who say ensem bi wo mu atim se nneema nko yenti no e se di akire na se sikawie bi ba mu a e se di sika because according to attorney general no kra no sikawie bi ba mu me balloon the figures man sebio amanfo bi wi a wo man Ghana public funds $2 million and into or their shame BB the SML any GRA deal and also what their shame was BB the Sputnik V vaccines and the menu bedin come for Sputnik V vaccines no menu bedin come over no we tie the course Sputnik V vaccine or see free Wi-Fi just say sikadia course esla wo wusumu AGYEMANG MANU wo free Doma Central former Doma Central MP sikadia basa abroso NPP for that. Now, ongoing investigations, all African games. According to all African games, you could be you use over $200 and something million. Emma Bedi 2 years or no supply. Wache was supplied $15 million. Abba. You come across an area across I alateni. Sisikano crow Gina or the Kodi crew. I've got nothing against Alatafona and swear. So, Ebusia ufa and Koma many woodia clearly one cassa for I dream home. For dream home. Mamma chair no good me ma will say it as a quaba, me ma filida aquaba, na me ma a Jan and so aquaba, Libya for Michiamo or so me free Libya. Now, yen tuaso Bank of Ghana buildings, ike die because so. Bank of Ghana buildings, sikedie na ekoso na ye cheddar ne bra. Sikedie bi ekoso ennioma bebre hihase auditor a year friend say attorney general ye kwa anim no you understand the reason why some of us I took a stand on certain people emra ye kwa akoto aba. Enti a Bank of Ghana no building no sikewia ne sikedie inflating na ye prices. What you say? Any public funds, no taxes are hit here. Now, as a national cathedral, the creme de la creme, the nado danko ya kufuado, sasabon sama also besi a dama yankupon. When to me and see, or could actually or boy and chrono, dear woo, via yensika. Into Wangasa, national cathedral, yesi. Into a just one by catcher will say, a no crenoa jet. Wankasa, pay you wanna watch this. Wankasa for Wudi watch this. Say ye two minana are costing the nation over $100 million. Ni yen see dying. Na contractor assassin and your man walker. Give to me chow. So these are the cases. Me ni me and ye do won't come. And just so big to be no catch us ora ne gua, oni munyansa. Now say what to the auditor a year friends attorney general Bekai buffer stock nipa baku over 50.8 million Ghana cedis misappropriation of funds causing financial loss to the state. It you won't tell one I won't blow then coffee waboy and chrono. Of course, but this year say I read in Uncle Paul. I don't want to say a perception, and your perception, the NPP by power 2016. It was perception. And perception sometimes, no crabby woman. That is why I'm paying focus that there is no smoke without fire. Anya, jabi tattoo, baby. But of course, we agenda setting people. Jandam, no, but now, didn't any Paul, I don't watch, I know, only good evening Ghana, any. The Biano what Metro a year friend is a good morning Ghana Metro so because I so protected the agenda of the Kenoforiates, the Gabi Asariochi Darkons, the friend is an anabedi tools. Boy no. So I saw a cut now no in some na ekosono. No so then no tum just to protect the government our we chrono our boy. Fa buffer stock a yes scandal no. We embe show. Offer the properties. Yet say, Abrantia ya wano a friend also ya laji wa komeka. En kramofo nyesa then so Ghana and kramofoni be ya kromfo. We wa komeka What the name above from 5 times a day. Islam actually about being honest and truthful. But today, MPP, omu use religion. Say Quran, enye Bible, no mu de yede. Omu de enye Quran, enye Bible, no mu de bogana chrono. Because they know, so when it comes to religion, Karl Marx said, the opium of the masses in Tiabanesa, human beings and time really beyond religion. Because what bo a year friend is saying, Prophet Muhammad Dean, may peace be unto his name. Into doa wa done into 1 minute kwanya a year Hanan ni a ria Ghana sika bogana chrono. When you boy Yesu Christo dia on minute kwanya nipana ria ya boy and chrono, so baba be defended. Now for properties ewusia abrantia ni sika busum yaketua endu 30,000 Ghana a month. Now within 8 years ultimate top 5-bedroom house cost $1.6 million. Now one kasa ya calculation yamfa ne say sika no pay 30,000 Ghana busum one kasa ya calculation for 8 years. So betimi ni sahane sika no entimi abomodene ya e de ato ejapade $1.6 million ana. Ebiem ultimate 3-bedroom house cost $600,000. Ebiem oto asase cost Ghana $750,000. Ebiem osi hotel 17-bedroom costing $250,000. Ebiem 4-bedroom costing the nation Ghana 4.1 million Ghana cedis. Government land a buying menu asase. Kwame Nkrumah sere free gam ahim for 4 up. So mine the baby bibi aboa ye nyina. Ene wo mo twa wo ho no mo ton sase no. Yet 307,000 Ghana cedis. You see, the MPP came to fulfill scriptures, John 10:10. They came only to steal, to kill, and to destroy the nation Ghana. That is what the MPP came to do. Oma maso omba ye bibi. Oma maso omba besi shebre. Oma masa omba be ye bibi papa aboa wo man no. It ufa ministries ni na krono kwa na course. Ufa Ministry of Finance krono course. Ministry of Health, chrono course, buffer stock, chrono course, Ministry of Agri, chrono course, just a ministry beer. Say ECG, bobo. Say, you see a friend is saying, Onipa or die, a friend is saying, Ghana Signal Bureau, no, bobo, national security, no, as well, boy, no, I pay the security for no more boy anymore. Woman cry a crown for. See, ufa MPP party no a chrono no mo boy no time. Now you see, I mean won't call asemwa a year friend is saying hear me what I say. But before no, me no ebe ye adie we exercise we kakra. I mean chia a year yenu mo omo ha mo hwe a year owura a yabosi ayiti seseku Rashid wa say gifty e wa ha say na mentuan komono so. Ofa ensem ni bo sometimes ayana ane muerem yenkunku tie eye ora justice size ono nenumwase.
Within that period was to create a platform for people to lodge those complaints. It was never intended to be an evidence gathering committee. It was never intended to be any official, when I say official, I mean in the criminal procedure we have stages. So it wasn't meant to play any role in the criminal procedure.
But we did see them gathering evidence, didn't we? We saw the committee members going to verify information, see for themselves in some cases.
I like the fact that you said verifying information. Right. So what they were gathering was information. Right. And that is different from evidence. Okay. So once you get information, so if you go to the police station right now and you say someone has stolen your car, what you have given to the police is information, and we call it complaint. Now the police would have to go and conduct investigations to gather evidence of the allegation of stealing. So what the committee was doing was to gather information. That is why when the president finally assumed office, one of the first official functions it played was to receive the reports, the oral report, which is a compilation of complaints, and hand them over to the Attorney General. So that is when the official criminal proceedings or process would be deemed to have started. And so that is what happened. Now, let me take my time to explain this. The criminal procedure has several steps, in it. So the first one, like I said, is the complaint that people make. When they made a complaint, then we conduct investigations. Now, after investigation, that's the second stage. After investigation, the investigative agencies or the investigators would have to bring what we call a docket or investigative report to the Attorney General to now examine. Now, the Attorney General or the prosecutor, we examine these, investigative reports and dockets, and then we identify gaps in them because the investigators are not necessarily prosecutors, they are not necessarily lawyers. So they give you information. We have found this, we have found a knife, we have found a cutlass, we have found mobile phone. So we will now have to piece this information together and make sure that it forms a seamless line or connection of allegations and evidence that can lead to prosecution. So once they bring the investigative reports, we examine it, and it's a lot of back and forth. So they bring it, we say, no, there's a gap here. Go and look for this evidence to fill in this gap. They go again, they bring it, we identify another one. So it's a lot of back and forth. So if you had come here, if you stay here longer, after this interview, I'm going to meet with investigative agencies. They will bring their reports, we examine them, and then we'll tell them to go back to fill in the gap. We do that until we get a docket which we can take to court. Then when you get a docket, that is when you now file charges. So that's another stage. You file the charges, and then after the charges, you go through pre-trial procedures. Then you go through trial. Then after trial, judgments before sentencing. So it's a long process. Now, before you even ask, there's a lot of concern, and I'm very much aware about how fast the oral is moving, the effectiveness of the oral. Is the oral dead? Is it still alive? And let me say this, the oral is alive, and it's very much on track. Understand the people who are raising those concerns. And indeed, for us, we are happy that Ghanaians are not going to sleep on oral. We are happy that they prompt us every morning on social media. Every day, I receive no less than 100 tags on people saying that there's an allegation of this here, there's an oral issue here, what are we doing? So I am very much aware, and I like it, because when I wake up in the morning, I am energized by the call of Ghanaians to pursue what we promised them.
Yes. So clearly, OTA, this is water, or pese, or trese. Oral, no, look, enwuye, a processor, a fasu. Senia, aja. Womu wie no mobo eye nsem no tofa so omo de kokota emu beye du na criminal eye case a omo de ato nipa cross no sebio Ghana be din kunim na ya twi nipa cross na so na inside de aka yesika. It is a way a journalist now wo Joy FM na wako journalism school na sebio wasua de asua nwoma wo present here as a mediator. This is the source of the information. Present it as such. Pepe. But you see, I keep telling you, enya botai, miemia wukong, and the chile se wuni minyan sound. Enya botai nabe, hello, ladies and gentlemen, I'll present to you tonight's news. My name is so Elton John Brobe. I'm presenting to you this evening's Joy FM News, the bulletin as follows. Enya no ne chile se wabinyo. Anyway, ora. Obi abetimi akenkan bi ora twi. Obi abetimi akenkan. Obi abetimi ame ayede abomodin esuen obi kasa. Oti ase. Nimdia no fa kire mu. Ene na aye Spencer kan say mi say. Education no aye ye ni nyina is about knowledge. And knowledge is action. Enti wo trasem ni mu a kire mu ni panen tiase. But you see ye tu nsem ni bi ni afa baabi ni a broadcasting because the paymaster church, you know, as smile and say, you push an agenda unto the people. And that is why I'm now me say, Nyankopon enshira eye YouTube, any eye Mark Zuckerberg. Omodi Facebook ebreye. Kente sa enka samrantie abomodin abotai abetna wo emmie omanim, and sometimes I am nim so omo kasa kire Ghana fo no I am nim say edwaman hu na ti omu mema no omo kasa kire Ghana fo na me hu say edwaman hu bi na ti omu but no mo yomani achi hey chale Nana Tobra present the news. Nana Tobra present the news. O accent no fa present news no. Nya afi na abeya won to said ye wo United States of America and na ye wo friend say United Kingdom. Ghana pen obi tumi ko Japan kwatena wa ye ka Asia for kasa wo ka a friend say Chinese for kasa enso oba no obeye news broadcaster no wo kan brofo no wo English ma wo ye no slangy ebe mapo no there be. So these people Joy FM no information no somebody ma Ghana for no Ghana for, but you be near the Baba. That is why I always call on this government and the MP, the NDC political party say, "Mo Facebook a friend is saying, guys now mo Facebook social media you guys should support them because my thing same be also about Sam George. Me Sam George, Yukiha, minimobia or no." Owo NDC mu a oye nipa de mu edupa when this mo ka jam say oye arrogant enya se bia o se first na man for case oye arrogant but no ankasa koye no wakwa witness say Sam George is an arrogant fool na someone ka kire me no ono UK a oye UK NDC ni a okura card ankasa owo position when NDC ni mo UK o se sa brand ni arrogant fool cause me hunu ne bia me tete wo TikTok. Make us Sam George arrogant fool and there be. Me say, Mama Moninko, Monko for more social media. Omutimi take it time. Jim Red, nya time. Explaining in some nature the Ghanaian electorate, you know. Don't forget them. Because woman come be, woman someone church muno. And a mama do baby am we be munya home positions, ye from ministers, and the ekikakika home. So you guys have to respect them. What you say? Yo. Now, mama move on free a year oral. So oral is not dead. Tiyanko and someone and me person me no be din come on. But then seven my making kind we every Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia 20th January 2016. This is what Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia at Troy. We and will be Troy. Or say reshuffles are normal with all government. However, with the record of the current government and the current state of Ghanaian economy, with its attendance hardship, what the people of Ghana desire is reshuffling, change from the among others, the hardship that afflict our people, the unprecedented joblessness affecting the Ghanaian youth, the astronomical increase in taxes, utility prices, and fuel, the cancellation of teachers and nursing training allowances, the decline of agriculture and manufacturing, the unprecedented corruption under this government, the incompetent economic management of this government. The ongoing reshuffle appears to be one to do with winning an election rather than one aimed at addressing the challenges faced by Ghanaians. In this regard, I am convinced that the ongoing reshuffle by the president will be meaningless. We know about 2016. The ultimate reshuffle will be done on November 7th by the people of Ghana. John Mahama ampa MPP for by 8 good years. And when someone may be mouth the in 8 years, Papa Bia, your friend, no, a year Honorable Kweku AGYEMANG MANU. There were ye. Now, for 16 years, no ye MP edema a year Doma Central. Akufo-Addo obey a health minister for 7 good years. May Baba tell how AGYEMANG MANU entimian finish a single hospital. A single hospital project as the Minister for Health when Timian finish one single hospital project. But unim the oye. One finishing one hospital project for the state, no. He managed to build a private hospital under 7 years for no one kasano. For 7 years now, no be a health minister no. When Timian see hospital ba kumpa ama NPP abahin. Any Ghana. Then that same 7 years now by a minister no. Or no, they would see private hospital pa any man. Now, young question. You see, offer a year papa we are your friend no a year ora AGYEMANG MANU no. May share ni mu say a year the Sputnik V COVID-19 droba no I see enkoto no a na ne bo $99 a papa ne de beje ye $19 no. We inflate prices no. Me hwe ni mu se papa no be bi owu bia ye be kwa akwache no. Na wonim dia omo ye. Ye chi omo ne dom kokota omo so omo yare. Ti keloforiata wo so yare nti we dwane. Give to your worry ye kwache na wo so yare. Kwabna ye friend is edubu ahe. Ono so oh ne hu mfi on feel fine na crowd say ne lawyer bufu im walk out e wo court sa na ye pen o walk out mo wa judgment be bantem no akodem nsanwom simple anaju de sum na police fu akofa no ma lashe no. Now ora AGYEMANG MANU as health minister, interestingly, ebo modern entimi anhwa me yensi hospital amagana fu. Emu o de Ghana sika see private hospital because sika na odisi hospital free na ketu. Look, offer a year under the watch of a year the health minister, former health minister AGYEMANG MANU free Doma Central. We saw unprecedented mismanagement. And yet the end, yenya friend is saying health minister young man on one person better office. Now they be our ninama or shesenko for be juma. Ghana for one person. Ghanaians don't like supervision because Ghana for one supervisor omo nye juma no. So we omo ye juma na ujina omo consua they perform better. Over the COVID funds and the imposition of COVID-19 levy on the suffering of Ghanaians, a kind of fast the COVID-19 levy but to Ghana for so. A mirror what Sewa Hospital, Afari Hospital, one else and complete. When to be complete, but to koko see on one hospital. COVID-19 by we are still complaining amamfo soon papa said there be what the COVID-19 levy beba now in the area or levy him COVID-19 levy no buy na isan ko the contract na Ghana Health Service no amfa ma Ghana Health Service o and no the come alatani. I have nothing against alata for yankasa inipa ni tumu edini o yewudini ti sa AGYEMANG MANU and the di Ghana bone and no the contract no come a year Peters Unim Peters. A yep asanti bedi etu ne yire na waware ne wofa. Ana wofa no e de COVID-19 a year friend is saying a contract ne man no airport wo no nim de oyeye. Ono nso bo modern ma a year a subcontract Ghana Health Service. A year wo no Peters and the company the front health a year service no. Frontier Health Service no. Onu mo no adwuma no wanye wo ko oni hu experience oni a friend is saying enkofo krom be ye adwuma no oti as a personnel no kro ni bi Into the year, and they say, they saw subcontracted Ghana Health Service for so Omonemu Mumba, a Jumano. A Jumano as a Gedima Ghana Health Service direct, no. Minister of Health now, no. Health Minister na eze wo fa ne nkofo no ananka Ghana yetu ankasa yenya sa esika no semfaso bi ba esi yenya sa amfaso no wamfa ma yeyu wo de koma hala tani we papa we o deserve si ade ne boban ho ne boni tuo na komem. Yes, because ye won nkofo bi ye bo mu tuo because ne yesusu se omu perception yesusu se omu bo kro no with no evidence mpo ye bo mu tuo we I said, Nico did not take military range near Bonacuma Mutuo. Te. I course in I no Gucci, a year friend say, a year no Gucci or whole, no Gucci center or Monsieur and whom near and whom a friend said, Nim dear, I'm far contract now, my woman. And you go for Ghana for one, a Ghana for one, Sabe, ye. And such a person, or Ghana. O did it 3 times a day, air condition bono home, or turn the 4x4 mukoba, or you be catch or say, be benin it thing. Meanwhile, no, a man the position as a health minister. Now, down for another down kwa kufu adunti, or mo bo Ghana chrono, via Ghana. And yes, kaketwa. Oko a year. Nempeswa soa Doma Central wanye fuku ewo Doma constituency wanye hute okokate so 2020 ewo Doma Central say obesi hospital ama wo mo abusuya so wachine bi eno bekwa akosi sa hospital ewi ama wo mo a aginyame neni. And then, develop private lives at the expense of the Ghanaian taxpayer. And such people will be teacher because just say, "Oh, ranegu or bottom." Now, I'm sorry to say, Sikedia basa. You see, sometimes we this kind of crowd would drink nipa na omoti krumo say, basa. With your mami sisi bimpo. As a health minister, the 16 regions in Poka will see a modern state-of-the-art hospitals across the 16 regions, teaching hospitals equipped with a modern equipment, hospital bed, papebi. And I said, you'll be so crowd to private hospital. Do you think that Ghana for be complaining, say? Yet to me, Ghana for chrono sama. Even to the extent to say dialysis machine in poa obi ayari the liver the kidney problem abahu na yesi ade to so enam krono bonti amanfo to be free the northern region eba comfort not teaching hospital na yasa catch am say dialysis machine no asay ntinipa no wo two kwan free northern region share the hours of travel obedu kuma sin so yesi doctor ma appointment next doctor ne say uba ye na yesi machine say ni pano the transportation to go back mpo enye sika ketwa na yesi bi mu dadua say ebi mu da kejetia ayarefo wishing say e bia dialysis machine no e be ye bia within 24 hours and 48 hours and kufuado. And such people say they go to church, they say they go to the mosque, they go and pray. Maybe your man penyinia. Hey, I will, may Mortal Kombat. You will check me. Oh, nami wuna me call the next life. I janku pon be me medals be say, hey, you are too good. Na Solomon create twitwa say be mema twitwa nkofo kote because of oba. So sorry David twitwa nkofo bema because of oba. Na me obi awia Ghana fo sika. Be bowo mutu akono. Men dada. Because you see, eniema na wo ye ne man nkofo bi fa pains mu. O de me kire wo no. Obi yare o. Of the northern region. or besane we are real eye Kumasi o Konfanochi teaching hospital or by say dialysis machine no e de besane yare no beda so no asai make us bia wagege abusua sika pharmacy fo sika share butter farm your friend say sellers association for akeka wo monsa ase maame ne share butter your friend say seller na ni kuo no akwaje busia wo msi amfa nkosa ne bayare ne bani free sremu baya yes machine no e de besa ne yare asai oye den no come back oh and yet our leaders Akufo-Addo was bathing in the skies, renting private jet, luxurious, costing the nation £14,000 1 hour. Don't read back with you. Adenya, you play there one. The nine will what essence your mama and the seating the year allowance I'll bet any name no what any name won't feel comfortable. Hey, do you think so that is how the British people build their country? Said they were thinking of luxury. Now, if you say an American citizen are building one country from the beginning, if the leaders were thinking of luxury and plagiarizing the speech of a friend is saying Franklin Mo Roosevelt, these people are evil. That is the best description. There's no any other description than to say beautiful. You see, I keep telling people, and you see, because of NPP, the youth have become more greedy. NPP now actually in Ghana for how during Nkrumah time, greed was not part of the system of Ghanaians. I'm telling you, because Nkrumah instilled in us a sense of discipline. And Nkrumah time, that you see, Nkrumah time, not nipa to me dwene, a dwene nipa ho, wado waten kama niya. Diemu bi kwa ye nyini no ayesu ameto kwa Nkrumah, but that a year friend is saying, ntitiye ni bi no emma wono mu asebi omu nya kwa Nkrumah time, omu experience bi no, womu suban no omu think na ebinum de omu timi say we no mo dwene papa. Waten kofo bi free as achime bua kwa kakranya achime bua kwa fo nyina o mu free kenofori atabusua mu no papa na ye tam ni free UK ye tam ni free Ghana ni ba UK be man gold plated echehye o ba Ghana bronika jenso o ye sek oforiata the first ne busuafo no mu ya kromfo mu ye wudifo. Look, the only year of my Ghana no. By this time no, you see, you doom so be wo ya bra boni mua. Any you see, me who say Attorney General ne ba na obema ye news about omo mabo kronwa. Me say abro so it's time. This is the time I see a friend Akufo-Addo. This is the time ehesanka a friend is saying ora jakpa any the team ya allow omo no ko pick up Akufo-Addo e free ni fie ne national security ne ko busa na nsem. This is the time, because no my cost ni nyina. How does he feel with this buffer stock, with NSA, with a friend is saying Sputnik V, and near my cost susikedie basa ekosu nyina? How does the president feel? The ex-president. Now the this is the time I see a kofano, get fano, near Johnson, you're hooking on. You're hooking on. Yes. Just our French a year president here, walk prison. And then Akufo-Addo know you're above the law. And we only have less than 3 years. You're prosecuting, and Jacob Zuma in another prison. Yentimian prosecutino fanan tumua within these 3 years, sir. Yes, be the indemnity clause the end. Obia no between na kwa tubu. Sana mrane. And the person obejina simpio su kache and say, hey, a friend is a wound to me, a conta mining, it's not doing any galamsey. This is a precedent. For the first time in the history of Ghana, say a foreigner etumi di Ghana president dimba eye papers mu say oye gold mafia just oye kromfo mu kromfo no oye azan techi amoa nyanketinkiti ni bio oye odenchem a wo just wa bokro no no ama na chi nyina ese denchem echi owie wo dwa nenum through ne wo fast ne se ne cousin bedi etuo dwa woma no hey Al Jazeera for omo retracting omo apologizing for the story say woma frey your president say or your gold mafia omo ka kire na say omo nya hwe huti besi ne story ne da so that Al Jazeera Kufuor no wo dwa nenum say obesi Al Jazeera no da ben no de omo court yebusa na just say asem na Alistair Matthias kan NFA no no kre or your cromfo. And you see, woman NPP, young guys na woman no, oma tete woman man and a sikani bre enti Ghana ni bia no a ene no mama nsumi minwie sika na menkoto asase mama minwie sika na menkoto a friend say Rolls Royce mama minwie sika na menkoto Lamborghini enti unse ama ene no greediness no did the youth Ghana ni the politicians no sometimes when I hear the young guys saying, so we need somebody like the Traore, I'm saying, you people don't understand the mindset of Traore. Traore and the mindset was study the history of the Pan-Africanist people. And we tune watch the Burkina base. How many Ghanaians today? And I was out to watch channel. And that is why I like my brother A+. And then come out and say, look, you see, you the big jawweja. A dining 10 bedrooms, 28 bedrooms. A him for now better. One of my junior at the Saddle College is a pilot. Hey, look. And then Adolfo be on one classmate. Tuni for say, Okosra no sheka se one the compound there. And then run down for the Kosra no, there are two Facebook say, Cast do no one down for no if you need and then or the a friend is saying, Express it to Uber Ghana now per car, come and hire some to for drivers any or the beer company. Because it's in the compound keke. Nina ye beja weja. But the question is, with all these things are Ghana for go through the hardship, no, you are expecting a white man to come and fix the life of your brother. Who are we to you are expecting a Kwasi Bruni to do good to your brother, but you don't want to do good to your brother. We are wicked. So the politicians, I don't know whether it's almost around upon reading the book of wickedness, chapter 1, verse 1. Let us go and do evil to Ghanaian child. It won't so much to Ghana from V18, not Ghana and Quarane to Tonsio, no, Omotikani, no Maniaji, and Sierra Bra, no Abetoncio, no. I know Ferry as a politician. When you woo, because who buy USA, no, who call USA, who will be Tonsio, Quarana Tonsio or Quayo. Who call United Kingdom, no, who will send Quarano, Motisa, one, money bino, Omujina Quamu Tonsio. This is what we call civilized society. A society where even the few are one, not the lot, they can share among their people. To me, so a year also. Can you do that? Can you people do that? Greediness everywhere. So, a month for just to enrich themselves. Jenny, yes, saying so water that we can drink. Water is life. Yes, yes, water is colorless. And the correct Ghana is you. And you're brown. And the corner koshe. It's all because a society, you see, a certain political party be by Abrabomwa. They train their people through the Dankwa Institute how to be criminals, how to steal, how to be wicked, how to be evil. That is why I keep telling people, say, you see, sometimes it took me you as a leader, you pay the price for the unborn generation. You pay the price for the unborn generation. That is what Jerry John Rawlings did. He paid a price. Do baby no 5 generals be a bombing intro. Was it the right thing? You will say, human right, and yet, yes, but solve the coup d'etats. As a leader, he is paying the price. He paid the price. To the beer, ye je German car. We breed evil. Ye groomy evil. Yet evil people. And that is what is very, very bad. Very, very bad. Say na obedi, say na obedi, say how many? Mimi feel here bushi. But mimi na owo me mame, ono no onye ohie ni. Osidan wo Takwa, a friend ship house. Obi a onim Takwa bi anim say it was the biggest house in Takwa. Over 40 bedrooms. Abusia na wokwa wanya ne ma na timu, e ya hohofo na tifie nim. Me pese me say ye be weja. So when you have position, use the position to help your community. You see, and you see one thing that is so sad about these politicians, especially the northern politicians. I'm not saying other politicians, but especially the northern politicians. Go and see how hard working the northern boys and girls are. And yet when they get the power, when they get position, they use it to, what I say, you're not too many, but you're the punish and call for. You are not a human being, no. When you think like this, when your thoughts are not sober to support, it's one of my prayers I've been praying since the age when I was 7. God, help me to be sober in my thoughts. Some care about human being, me don't need home. Abrabono ayebono is to ensure say ye be my passport no bend munyam, and that when the Ghanaian child no find the passport, if he wants to come to UK, his visit, and I be about for school, not say about for greener pastor to come and hustle. You see, when you look at Ghana for one of the platforms I was some years ago, and the senior big guy here in the UK, big guy, one of our senior, very big. When we come to UK, he's a big Ghanaian, Yembonidin. And I approached him about Ghana. And years ago, Akufo-Addo Mobamo approaching and said he should come and help the governance of the NPP. And also, they begged him, tried to lure him with car, house, and other things. Why not? And Michiana didn't come so see another one. So these people are corrupt. I know them. They don't have the love for the nation. If I see somebody who has love for the nation, I'll go and support. Fast forward, John Dramani Mahama Bay, they have approached him again. So John Mahama is quite good, but some people surrounding him. I can advise them but I don't want to be part of it. And he's been advising this current finance minister. Because when you come to UK, when we are talking about financial gurus, he's part of it. He's a top guy. Ghana knew. Because you see, sometimes even the people are back when then if you for Nagasasa blocking, no. Recently, I was on TikTok when one doctor gave me about said me see makosa me crack this a year novel a year MY between the transportation I bet me a railway system or Ghana I bet bulletin trains in your just 2 billion and dim for so Ghana and some paying for a block and dear nipa betim dia beboa ne man so wo kwa boa ne man so no ye block I see say almost sorry anapa they come in omo ba a year friend is a meeting I say yanko punish Ghana for nkwada yanko ye wicked to them yanko ye evil to them let ye extorting wo finances no yemba wo krono yendi wo in the last 10 years Ghana Bank of Ghana at the Betuja said Ghanaians living abroad are contributing sikapuduo over 30-something billion US dollars to the Ghanaian economy. Ghana for a work went to. Does that economy no ati Ghana no? Uko Ghana na unu ni say ye say sika ni ye adwuma. Konkwasiafo bi botom. Konkwasiafo bi botom. Excuse me to say. The only thing that cancels insult are results. A Jimmy for be bottom, and these are a Jimmy for no mabe a friend is saying, one money be true Ghana, no more and sika, no more man scholarship, or yen in the bano, or nya scholarship, or skinny in your scholarship. And Oliver Cho be on the page. I say, Obia person, sorry, on a power, your lawyer. Obia person, your lawyer. A crowd with Timua, science and technology, innovation. Innovative creativity. Yan support you, but you support lawyers. Now, why are some now kudi? Huh? The humanitarian cause is not so. How are we going to move forward? When majority of our people are humanitarian and friends saying students, how are we going to move forward? When we are just say, and you now, these are Ghana Bar Association people. Now, and some now moody, you can sign a diabwa or minor. Huh? It's about time we have to rethink, to reset the nation. Because you see, resetting the nation, I think, say, rethinking. Rethinking is part of it. The mentality, no, Obi, you see, there was a time I saw a video, and I keep sharing this, a friend is a video, no, to people. Said, I got disturbed when I saw a Ghana near Wujinaho. I want Galamsey site. Pardon me, Galamsey site too. Not China Nino. Catching in your Ghana and say, on free site when you saw we boni to you. Na China ni na shall say afabo ba to Ghana ni because they have a misunderstanding. A Chinese and a Ghanaian. Na Ghana for the one no. Instead some support to omu Ghana no maka China ni say wonjai. Do you know what they did? Omu catch omu Ghana ni say on free site won ko na broni ni de ni bufu obetam to abo. Emu a okasa saha no. Already na China ni so to bo Ghana ni no. Under the laws of our country, foreigners are not allowed to engage in what? Small-scale mining. In Tibronini Kura, small-scale mining is against our law. But what Tikronim, for lack of knowledge, won him. Two, or instead of supporting him, no ma catch China and say, Massa Jai and say, no. Or say, or catch and say, Coco, Ampany Ampa, China and ko share one more dime be a mobile wooden structure be. And the coffee too, and what the better Ghana in so. Do you think this will happen? Our China, maybe so. What about Kronima? We are illegal mining, no? Because the law does not support small scale mining. And say, a foreigners ever engage is for the indigenous. Or say yes, say yes, we also attempt to the Ghana. And I ask myself, where is the love? Where is the support system? Where is the patriotism of the Ghanaian? Into Shadiabu, what the Volta region or your Evany, you can ewe a derogatory word. Our Brunino will take it over after the Germans, Nekoyan, one to me and tro ever and will throw ewe. To describe a whole tribe. And thankfully, me, yes, education, my brothers who are from Ever land, no, I shall say, who use the correct word, Ever, and yet, Ewe. Now, I mean, fair non tunche. Yen me any free Volta region, or your Ever ni, and now what Volta region. Ya say, problem at 2 or more, Keta sea defense. Insure befa wo offering bunkpurugu yo na adwene ya ne say insure na eba befa de emfa no na say with the Voltarians for na enyo mase obonwu say a whole minister of energy napo say amanfo anim no mkosi Hey, see defense obe leading Kofo to demonstrate against the government. Adenya and Kofo ne to about no mon to ma the party. The evil. We onye human being no. Oye ukrasinia. Oye wudini. Krasini no. Oye wudini. Where is the love? Wamana ya team no afi ya be nipa wo ebo yemu a ye protect ahwo fo ejatememufo. Let me tell you. Ye de emu bi ye ba abrochire nche. Ba ye mpanyimfo bi e beto wo mo wa abrochire no. Wo mo nsem wo mo ka kire yen say. Obroni no oputine nkofo first. Ansa no abedwene wo a wo ye wo. Na wo no bedwene wo ho a na onim de wo nya mfaso bi afiri wo. Look at our country. Lawlessness. Obitimi sora no pa no akobo bokios e wo kwan ho. You see, I have told you, say, and I said it on a year Efia Pokua show last year. I think a year last 2 years last year, you know. I said it on OKFM, say, until we make up our mind to teach and kwadanwa ya wo omo no kindergarten ne nursery ne primary ne JSS no ethics, moral education to put the nation first, no. You don't forget it. Because we must teach the people to understand. Say, problems that face the Voltarians ni facing, the Volta region ni facing, no, is the same problem as a Ashanti region, no, we're trying to how to solve it. Because these are our brothers and sisters. Problem facing Western region, no, who free Central region, you must be as I would these are your brothers and sisters. We hold one passport. Nobody travel on the ticket of NPP passport, NDC passport, green passport, or RU passport. We travel under an identity. Ghana. So, if we don't protect that identity, the country will not move forward as we want it to move forward. And that is the thing that sometimes we share with you. Obinka seme nyesika. Obinka seme mpesika. But pen wakwain paso. The greediness not also. Money is meant to build hospital. Minister, make sure that money is meant to build that hospital. Money that is meant to build roads. Make sure it is meant to build the roads. Oko Cote d'Ivoire, Oko good roads. You are happy. Oko Benin, just Benin, less than 10 million people. Benin, less than 10 million people. People are in the sub-Saharan, there was no country in the BA. I keep telling you, only some 3 countries be free more on the continent of Africa. Country be one in the BA in Ghana. We Morocco, Egypt. We friend is Ethiopia. There was no other country on the African continent in the NBC in Ghana. But Japan is saying, look at how other countries are developing. Because the shells not correct. Even Uganda, which you really must have any more correct. And you sit here instead of us to think about the nation, you know, greediness, no for a MP or your minister or Bokrono on can't channel of an warfare, Corona will bonny jai na affect people. Ni papa any AGYEMANG a friend is a MANU where we are gonna seek a private hospital or we are going to say my father is rich. Your father is a thief. Let's call your father by the name. And to dear. And then Yemundia, they be a Bekoswa catcher Ghana for say, Montiasi. We need to support this government to do right thing. That is the reason why I like the NDC followers now. Omon train Emma MPP Mecca. Omon Kasa Bibi Kone Koya. omo dream ikaba beka extra omaban no. That is what I call the proactive friend monitoring. More monitor more governance, more monitor governance. Because ekoye ma nyina Ghana. And I buy when so na so emere otiensem quickly. No, I adjust no, I the necessary correction. Me betna me bashi ebo ora Dr. Akoretinga ayenini. Me so abeni de na enso nka no ho. Ampa ene na no ba ya obe meet the press, obe meet Ghana for din komo. Accountability series what the new matter to akwemu otiasem elephant no belong to so bet near bet nefi eye nwurem tisi etimi apam na mana kwa nwurem a moma ne nka nwurem na yen govern this nation and they share the big push and next year there you see every district yanya I think something says 7 or 17 kilometers of road. As a 7 kilometers of road. Region BR. District BR rather. So let's support the government. With all our might, with all our strength. Ghana be ye. But I believe say young guys are my bar musu sike di brave woman nimono. Mompo se kakra. Sikane di unye be a ye. And so good name is better than the riches. Sikano air for building roads, no. Use the money to build the roads. Membo minor bro. Because the nation is competing with France. We are not competing among ourselves. So it's not a battle between the Enzemers and the Fantis, or the Enzemers and the Kusasis, or the Mamprusis versus the Asantis or the Gans. No. That is not the competition. Our competitors are the Canadians. Our competitors are the Americans. No formal passport, and that is why you call World Cup here. You call Kenzie. That is why Olympics. We say you call Kenzie. We are only there. You bet me strengthen you want to be the best for our nation, not to destroy our nation, because you're destroying one. Or the more left and right and north, they will laugh at us. They will make mockery of us. And look at the Ghanaians. They will say that we are as useless as anything. And this is what we try to do. When Mgwasia, MPP Fwaji, and now Fenya Markins, you see what the mass local we dream me kwa kutia, sa baina se sa, and ka Fenya kutia. This abiding ye be crowd kai say aban we buy no maslo ma me no odano no obompa ya kai no ono de obodi ni pempen what's in the pain won fa bi ntete. That is what I want. Enya me ma no omobodi na obusuro o we de ma me mfante omko radio ni TV so o we din we de ma me mfante ma me no o maslo no me ne president a bebi o maslo no me ma na obo adwuma obetena radio ni TV so a Obana no okeka din no obone pan we disika we jinkofo sika odidwane ye onfam baaye we I katuna feku wo so beso ko NDC for MPP for the secretary enso ye so abokro no awia maslo fo sika oba obobodin obobodin ni bi se Afenyo Markins the minority leader ne ho won sem o maslo kum ene wababa betua oral is working e can be. Let's support Abaya. Ladies and gentlemen, God bless our homeland Ghana. Make our nation great and strong. Bold to defend forever and ever. Unsubscribe me a YouTube channel. Pomodiana subscribe. Now click on the bell notification. To be better now, the content say ba na eja. Unso wakame home. Na yina ya share ya adwene wa hase. Inchi akese nkoma eye owura kabla. Abdul. Rashid, Eunice, Otis, Zigma, Ebusiafo amoba amoba support me nyina no. Felida ama for Kwame mu nyina, meda mu nyina mo ase noble my sister, Kudira to Sandy Francis, say meda mu nyina amase. Ura abusi ayite saseku mu nyina meda mu nyina amase. Take good care of yourself. Ghana ebeye. Peace.